One, go ahead, man.
Hello and welcome to the Gore Show on the Gore Grinder channel, where we discuss all types of grindcore, gore grind, hardcore, core grind, grind jazz, and jizz grind, or whatever else
Everything.
is made by weirdos with mental problems and living in their mama's basement, just trying to scratch out a living, making weird ass semi avant garde music. We love it. We're here for it. We are the Loose Meat Boys. I'm, of course, Horrible Noise, aka Alex, and then we got Eli from More Noise Records. We are your hosts, and we are joined here today by Isaac Horne of Sulfuric Cautery, a pretty big band in the world of gore grind, and himself a prolific artist who's in more bands than I can name, even though I was sent a full list, and I researched all of them. And then Eli said, "Oh no, those are just the ones I know off the top of my head." So there's even more.
There's a good chunk.
So let's get into it.
How many
How you
were on
doing,
the
Isaac?
list? I think there was 8. How many were on the list, Alex? I think there was 8. Did I have 8 of them on there?
You sent me Sulfuric Cautery, which is supposed to be the main and current one, but then also Rancho Relaxo, Dude Love, Morgue Breath, Deserology, and more. But yeah, so it's a lot. So you're a multi-instrumentalist? What do you play? What do you do?
No, I can only play drums, dude. I've tried to learn guitar a bunch of times, but I suck very hard at it.
That actually explains it, because drummers are always in like 10 bands.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it for sure. I'll do
You ever
like
do
just
vocals
in bands sometimes, but it's either that or drums, nothing else.
Okay, cool.
You're a killer drummer too, bro. You kill it. I'm a big fan.
Hey, thanks. That's all I got.
Yeah.
It's the
Very quick stuff. Okay, and you're based in California. Whereabouts?
I'm staying in LA right now.
Ooh,
that rocks.
Big
It's
dog.
fancy, fun.
Fancy.
All kinds of bands out there. That is the hub for grind, power violence. You guys get all the best shows, all the coolest bands.
Yeah, forget Hollywood.
There's a lot going on for shows and shit for sure. It's like I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Canada, and I was used to having like
where? I'm
grind shows a year or something that. So
I'm in Toronto, and I'm from Calgary.
Oh, really? I was born and raised in Edmonton.
You son of a bitch. Edmonton and Calgary have beef, but it's like a hockey beef, so I don't care.
Oh yeah. Hey, it was kind of like a punk grind scene beef for a minute too.
Oh, Edmonton has a better
year
punk
and a
scene
half ago on tour, and it like really hurt my feelings how good the Calgary show was. This is supposed to suck, dude, but it was great. Calgary has it going on for grind right now for sure.
Yeah, damn, I haven't been back there. I haven't seen anything like that in Calgary. Where'd you play in Calgary? The Palomino?
No, at Loophole. It's like a coffee shop that has a back room that lets them do shows in there.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Back in my day, it was Palomino, Broken City, and what's the other one? Tubby Dog. There's a hot dog restaurant that would have all the best punk shows.
Tubby Dog. Okay, I like that.
All right. How do you get into the States? How did they even let you in?
My partner is from down here, so that was the big reason why moved here in like 2014. So yeah, it's been like 11 years now.
Nice. Hell yeah. You liking it? Well, I assume you like it. You've been here for a long time. Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years.
Yeah, well, like anywhere, it's got its ups and downs, but you're definitely making the best of it for sure.
All right. So what bands are you active in right now?
For bands that like jam like every week and shit, it's just Sulfuric Cautery and Morgue Breath. Those are like the two main ones. And then most of the other like bands I'm in are really just like recording projects where I'll like record drums and email them to someone that lives far away.
Oh, that still counts. It's a global community. And here on the Gore Grinder channel, we have our finger on the butthole of that community. So Morgue Breath, for the listeners at home, is, I want to say, death grind, whereas Sulfuric Cautery is more straight up gore grind, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's a fair assessment, I'd say.
Yeah, I even got a little hint of D-beat coming out of Morgue Breath at times, which I liked.
Oh
yeah. For every death metal part we do, we have to do 3 D-beat parts. Those the rules.
Yeah. That's what I like. Also, Morgue Breath, the songs, are they all in Spanish?
They are. They are all.
Devorando el espectro tumoral, playa sin rostro. So,
that's good Spanish.
I mean, 2 years ago, for almost 2 years, me and Eli did our Loose Meat podcast, which was the same thing, but a long time ago. And more than half the bands were fucking from California, and more than half of the bands from California were Latino. So I think it's just part of the culture over there, right?
Yeah.
You
There's
speak
like
Spanish?
no, my Spanish is ass. I can say like
same,
a thing
dude.
or two, but I speak an embarrassingly little amount of Spanish for being over here. But yeah, if you like look at like the history of grind bands in California and shit, like Terrorizer from LA, Excruciating Terror, like so they had like a lot of like real big prominent ones like since the beginning of the genre, really. So it makes sense that they would have like a deep seated interest in fast shit over here as a result of that, and I'm glad that it's kept up over the years because it's still crazy over here.
No, it's really cool. And in fact, there were so many that Eli started to get the nickname Baby Chico from various
I like that. That was a good name.
Latin grind bands that would come on the show and talk about him afterwards.
I enjoyed it. I had a quick question for you, Isaac, since you brought up that you were from Canada. I did not know that. Your Dude Love project is my favorite project solely because I love pro wrestling. Are you a Bret Hart guy? Is this a tie-in here up in Canada? Is that?
Man, that was mostly the other guy, Wiley,
okay.
that did like guitar and vocals on that. He is much more well-versed in wrestling than I am. Although we did go to the Hart House when we were in Calgary on tour a couple of years ago. And like
that is awesome.
Had a snowball fight in front of it.
That's so fucking cool. Man, that is, were there a bunch of, were they all out there? I know there's like, I don't know, like 30 of them, I guess, live there. They have, I don't know, every time I like read about Bret Hart, I see that he's got like new grandkids and new family members and stuff like that. I didn't know you could just go check out the house.
Yeah. It's like, I think you can find it on Google Maps and shit. They like weren't hanging out in the front yard or anything. And it was like snowing. So everyone was, you know, probably inside. But we could like roll up to it and there's a little plaque in the front. So you can kind of hang out there a little bit.
Yeah, that is so fucking sick. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I was living in the Midwest for a while, and that like gave me also very thorough wrestling education just with some of like the roommates we had and stuff. They were, wasn't like super into it as a kid or anything, but then they were like, no, sit down, you have to watch this. And so we like watched a ton of like ECW and shit like that.
That shit is fantastic, dude.
I can say I have an appreciation for it now, even if I'm not like super obsessed like a lot of my friends are. Big
time into it. I know deathmatch wrestling here in Ohio, and I guess really just the Midwest in general, but I know like it's big in Indiana, and I think it's banned in Kentucky now because somebody, like a guy got hit in the head with something and he bled on the people in the crowd and gave him like HPV or hepatitis or something, so they banned it. But like the deathmatch wrestling and like wrestling as a whole, like underground wrestling here is so fucking big, and people, I love it, honestly. I go see it all the time. It fucking rocks.
Yo, yeah.
Okay, so Dude Love, is that a wrestler's name?
Yeah.
There's a guy called Dude Love. What was his whole thing? What was his gimmick?
He's got, well, I don't know if you know, Isaac, I don't want to step on your toes. I know you said you didn't watch too much wrestling.
For sure. I know it's like a Mick Foley like alter ego, but
yeah. There's a wrestler, Mick Foley. He's got multiple characters. Originally he was Cactus Jack, like way back in the day, like in ECW, WCW. He went to WWE and then he became Mankind, and then he also was Dude Love, and so it's just multiple characters. He had different egos. Dude Love, though, is like his hippie ladies man type characters, how he described it at a prior time.
Hippie ladies man. Okay, yeah, that adds up with what I'm looking at on the album cover.
No, yeah, he rocks. He rocks. Yeah, there was a lot. You guys had a lot of cool ass shit on that album cover. The collage itself was really cool. There's all kinds of deathmatch, pictures and shit in there. It was pretty sick. I listen to that album actually all the time. I play that album a lot still. I was hoping.
Oh, hey, thanks, man. That's
cute. Yeah, it's a sick one.
The other guy in that project is from like my favorite band ever, Shooting Spree.
Shooting Spree. I've heard of Shooting Spree, I believe. Yeah.
He's also doing a project with Brennan from Human Effluence right now called Repugnancy. That's like super, super crazy too.
I think I've. Do they have something out? That sounds familiar, but I don't know.
Yeah, they've got like a demo out. It's on like New Standard Elite, so it's like a Brutal Death label, but it's like kind of guys from a like also like very like they like love Brutal Death and shit, but they're from a very grind background, so the project's kind of like right in the middle there.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's sick. Yeah, I feel like that sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% off the dumpster.
So just for the listeners at home, some of the track names from the Dude Love album include Barbed Wire to the Dick, Bleeding from the Ears After Heinous Body Slam, Pile Driver Lobotomy, Violence, Substances, and Gore, Broken Light Bulb, Eyeball Gouging, Testicular Torsion, Hung Out to Die, and many more. So that's, especially if you're a wrestling kid, you're going to like that one.
Yeah.
I also was sent a band called Désirologie, which you're in. I guess you just did drums on that one?
Yeah, that's me and Hagamoto that does like a ton of bands. He was in like Patisserie, Bodies Lay Broken, Men's Toilet.
Yeah, so it's like a Japanese guy who does everything by mail?
Yeah. So he lives in Tokyo. I just like will email him drum tracks and he'll do it from there.
That's so
More
cool.
Breath was in Japan last month, and we got together and like practiced and did a couple Désirologie sets on that run of shows, which is really fun.
What?
That's, like, not a band I get to like play with frequently.
So you were touring in Japan with Morgue Breath recently?
Yeah. And then like we were just in the same city as a Désirologie dude, so we were like, all right, let's meet up, let's do this. And it was
that must have been like the coolest ever.
It was that's like my favorite country to go to for sure. It was like a fucking ridiculous time. The Guys and Butcher ABC all rule, shout out to them. They were like the best hosts, driving us around, and like they set everything up over there, and are also a killer band and really, really fun to hang out with. So huge.
Man. Forget New York. Like I used to live in Japan, and Tokyo just like has wherever weird the subculture you're into is, it's happening tonight, every night. You know, it's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah. They dig deep into whatever they're into for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel left out. I've never been to Japan, so I can't.
You would be asked politely to leave.
Hey, lots of crazy wrestling shit in Japan too. Though.
Oh yeah, they love the wrestling too.
Over there.
Yeah, I've seen definitely a lot of Japanese wrestling. Their deathmatch wrestling is like next level. They use those I think they're called gusset boards. Gusset, it's some kind of blade that they like stick to a board, but I don't know, every time somebody gets like slammed on it, they bleed like a shit ton. Like it's kind of disgusting, but it still kind of rocks. You know how it goes.
Dedication, dude.
Dedication, man. You got to live for it, big time.
Okay, so would you say that Sulfuric Cautery is your main project right now? Or I guess not. You're just doing it all at once.
Yeah, that one's like kind of like my baby. I'm like the only like remaining original member in that band, and I've like wrote like the vast majority of the songs, and like kind of had the vision for it or whatever. So, more or less, yeah, that's like probably always gonna be my number one, but. I like I said, dedicate a lot of time with Morgue Breath too. I actually haven't really done shit with Sulfuric this summer. We did like 2 Morgue Breath tours, and I just got off tour with another band, Raw Addict. That's like another long distance thing. So we haven't done like any Sulfuric shit in several months, but we're getting back to it though. We're like got a couple tours in August, and then we're going on a big one in November.
Oh hell yeah! What's that gonna do? Can you get into that right now, or is it you got to wait till before you kind of announce it, or?
Yeah, no, the August ones, like we're playing Northwest Speed Fest, which is the homie Jim from Disease. It's a fest that he does in Seattle. That's always like historically been really fun whenever we've gone up there, and he went like really crazy on the lineup this year. So we're doing a run of shows with Congealed Flesh from Calgary, actually. And we're playing in like the Pacific Northwest, and then going up to like BC and Alberta and doing some shows there. Then we have some shows in Texas with Suppression, Psy Warfare, and Sissy Spacek like right after that. The November thing is like something I've wanted to do for a super long time, and like finally had the ability to this year. And it's like a Japan, Southeast Asia, and Australia run. So we're going to be out there for like 3 weeks, going to a bunch of countries where people love brutality.
And it just blows my mind that you get to travel the world doing this weird ass shit, and it's fully global.
Dude, shit.
That's awesome.
It seems like it definitely gets a better reaction. I feel like obviously California, it's very popular, but like here in the Midwest, like grind, power violence, and stuff like that, it's not nearly as big as like hardcore music. So it's nice to see that, I know overseas it's kind of well more received, than it is
Oh
here.
yeah. I feel like that's kind of like all across the board though. Hardcore is just like real big everywhere. Like we did like
Yeah.
a long tour last summer, and like everywhere we played, people were like, "I'm sorry, there's like not that many people into grind here. They're all like really into hardcore." And I was like, I think that's like kind of just
It
everywhere. It's just a more
really is.
popular genre. Like,
Yeah.
but as far as like playing grind in this year of our Lord 2025, it's pretty fucking good. Like post COVID, there's like a huge influx of like young kids that are like into this shit, and I've like was like have been able to play like for like way crazier shows for more people than I ever
Yeah.
have in my life, like before that point. And they're also starting super crazy bands. Like there's all these like bands that are like in high school, like, and these drummers that are doing shit that took me like over a decade to learn how to do, and they're like doing it like in their teens.
Oh, that rocks.
That makes it a very exciting time to do this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I love that. It's good to see. Do you think that social media, or I guess more people trying to advertise their bands, do you think that kind of thing's help? Because I've been noticing that a lot of like grind bands and stuff have been popping up on TikTok, and it seems like more people are kind of pushing to get their band heard. I guess just through social media, and kind of get more eyes on it and get away from the, DIY, like Ask a Punk, don't come to the show. Does you think that I guess is having a more positive effect? Do you think that's something that'll start happening more? I guess is my convoluted way of asking that question.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a positive and negative thing, kind of, but I'm like leaning towards it being mostly positive.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like people can like just like DIY promote everything online, and it's like kind of like breaking down like the need for having like huge record labels like backing your shit like you had to do back in the day. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot easier just to do everything DIY now and have it like actually work and people actually get to hear it, compared to you needing like a corporate machine to push your shit to be able to go on tour or whatever. And then just getting to like meet other people in the DIY scene to like make connections is much easier with the internet. And having like a fucking GPS in your pocket also makes it way easier
Oh, hell yeah.
compared to back in the day, I'm sure. But then on the other side, it's like I feel like because you can discover shit like so fast now, like all these kids are like learning about like Gore grind and Gore noise when they're like 15, which is like something I had to dig like really deep to
Yeah.
find like in later years. Like they don't have the same like context for the scenes that they're in, kind of, as people
Yeah.
that were more dedicated to finding them in like whatever, and just like a couple generations back. Like there's all these kids like hardcore dancing like crazy at like grind shows, and I'm kind of like, man, that's a different scene. That's like that's not our shit. But
Yeah.
like they're just finding all this shit all at once, so it's all kind of like lumped together, and they just haven't like figured out like what's what in some regards. But overall, I think it's awesome that you can like find this shit without having like so much like gatekeeping and
Yeah.
like dig as deep as like we probably had to.
Yeah, man. No, it's gotta be a largely a positive thing. Like I found fucking hardcore and hardcore punk by being into pop punk first, right? Because it was what was on the radio when I was 10.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I like this band, The Misfits, with Michael Graves. And then I was like, wait a minute, they used to have this guy called Glenn Danzig, who was actually way cooler, So yeah, I think the ease of access is a big thing. And beyond that, like we are having like the corporate nonsense you talked about shoved down our throats more than ever, more advertising than ever. I can't get away from it. And so much of grind and this like very countercultural thing that we're doing is a response to that. I don't know if you agree, but like
absolutely.
If a kid is like, oh, this looks like anti-corporate, like this is an illegible logo and a really weird sound that scares my parents, like, yeah, this is good stuff. So
oh yeah, deliberately super inaccessible for sure.
Yeah, without being gatekeepy and pretentious.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird line. It's a weird line. I've had people like arguing that we should have gate kept harder, because of just some of the shit that you see.
Get in there.
You can't travel the world and tour Southeast Asia if nobody knows your fucking band, right?
No, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Like I said, it's largely a good thing, but there's like also like kids like starting bands, like especially over here. I feel like just because it's like a more popular thing and there's like money to be made off it, which is not the case for most places. But like there, like I've seen some like awful bands get started, and it's
Wow.
like people at
I can't imagine.
are like total posers, and they're just like, yeah, I think we can make some money off this.
Yeah.
And it shows like real easily. But yeah, for that's a small minority overall. Like most of the new bands I think are awesome, and I think it's awesome that people can find out about this shit a little easier than they used to have to be able to.
Lit. So Sulfuric Cautery as one of your main projects. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at song titles. I'm listening, and I'm getting classic kind of medical gore themes like advanced cirrhosis, metastatic ecstasy, significant myocardial activity. But then also like the album is called Chainsaws Clogged with the Underdeveloped Brain Matter of Xenophobes. There's a song called Urine Pathetically Dripping Down from the Thigh of a Castrated Rapist. So you guys are like cool guy left wingers as well, hey?
Oh yeah, for sure. As I feel like grinders should be, given the origins of this and everything. But yeah, I like to try and stay true to a lot of like the tropes of gore grind and like the extreme and medical like themes that are prominent to the genre. But at the same time, if like people are like listening to what we have to say, then I feel like we should also say at least a thing or two that we believe in too, because I wouldn't have like thought about nearly as like much shit as I did at a young age, like just like throwing away societal norms if there wasn't like bands that were talking about that stuff and like reading liner notes and shit like that. It made me question a lot of things about the world, so I feel like obligated to do that at this point for sure.
Damn, that's a really thoughtful answer. Okay, so you don't seem to have, or Sulfuric Cautery itself doesn't have its own Bandcamp, but what I found is the Blast Addict one, which I don't know if it's a label or just a collector guide, but there's like all these bands on here, even bands you've mentioned earlier in the interview, like Sissy Spacek. Who is Blast Addict?
That's me.
I knew it. We were gonna ask, like, is this him or is this? Okay, so
Yeah,
describe Blast Addict.
Record label. It's like it's kind of not like a real label. I don't like put stuff out for other bands that much. It was largely inspired by Disco's Al Pacino's, which is the dude from Deserology's old label he's been doing like since the 90s, and Aggressive Valley, which is Joe from Archigathis and Violent Gorge's like label, where it's just kind of like people that are really prolific, and they're just like self-releasing a lot of their own stuff and kind of like calling it a label. So that's what that is. Almost everything on Blast Addict is just my bullshit. It's just like my project, self-releasing and stuff.
Cool.
There's a couple exceptions to that. Like my good friend Graham died like a number of years ago, and there's a bunch of unreleased recordings that he's on that I think are like amazing, and I've been working to try and get those out. So I'll put out stuff that he's on. And I put out an Absurdity tape that I think is really good because it's just been out of print forever. It's Alex from Goner's like grind band after Goner broke up. And yeah, he was just like someone else that I've been telling people about this tape forever. And then my partner was good friends with him, and she was like, you should just re-release it. I bet he'd be down. And he was down, so I made some of those. But for the most part, it doesn't operate like a real label. It's just me self-releasing stuff.
Cool. So you're involved in almost everything on there, but there's a couple you've like done as favors for others.
Yeah. I'm probably on like 95% of the things there.
Okay, sick. What about Rancho Relaxo?
I played drums in that. That was a band that me and my partner did when we were living in Dayton. Actually, we lived in Dayton for like 6 years. And
oh yeah, there's the album cover is you and your partner.
Oh yeah, the drawing one, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so your wife is into this stuff?
Yeah, totally. She actually does like a lot of the art for like a lot of like the good looking art, like the stuff
That
that's
rocks.
not like clearly lazily thrown together by me on there is her doing it. Like both the first two sulfuric full lengths, she like drew those and like a ton of our shirt designs and a lot of
That's
other
sick.
stuff too that's on there.
Where did you meet a woman like this, especially across international borders?
At a grindcore show.
That rocks.
It
That's
was
so
the
awesome.
first time I'd played in LA. We played like a backyard show in South Central, and
Damn.
she was over there and was super cool. And we just kind of kept in touch since then. And then
Well, you heard it here first, kids. You go to a grindcore show, you might meet a wife.
yeah, the odds are
That's
low,
what the scene is all about.
It's not impossible for sure.
It's not impossible. Yeah, you're right. The odds are very low. Very rarely do you.
Oh yeah.
Very rarely do you come across that. Oh man, that's funny as fuck. So I guess what is something? Excuse me. What's your? God damn, dude! I smoked a bunch of weed before we started, and it's having its downside effect on me right now. For somebody so involved in the grind scene, what is something that really bothers you about it? I know you say you try not to gatekeep, but is there one thing that kind of really pisses you off? I see it online a lot. I see a lot of people say that everyone in the Midwest cosplays as Seth Putnam, and I do think to some extent, to a lot of the shows I get to, there is a lot of the anal cunt, I don't want to say worship, but kind of like just trying to recreate sort of what they did with, the song title, just kind of being like edgy type dudes. Do you?
Yeah, I don't really rock with that shit. I think that's like lazy and whack.
Yeah.
And like, and usually it's just like people with like no actual life problems, like complaining about
Yeah.
like that. But yeah. If I was to land on one, it'd probably be bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about. It's like some of the I'm not even gonna lie, some of the bands are good and everything, but just I can't like
that kind of thing.
I can't do it for the most
I feel like to an extent it does start to get a little bit hacked. Kind of like there was a time, I feel like a couple years ago, everybody, at least their stage presence was the Gigi Allen thing. Everybody was getting naked and bleeding and like, I felt like after a while, it kind of was like, all right, maybe we can, not every band, there's 6 bands on the show. All 6 guys are going to get naked and bleed everywhere. It does kind of get like, maybe one guy can just.
Yeah.
Eli, are you worried about naked and bleeding, or you're talking about like calling everything gay and?
Well, no, I'm more just looking at something that, I guess, the original question I was asking him is just something that he, kind of wants to be out of the scene as somebody so involved in the scene. And then I was just thinking of stuff that I thought is kind of just, a little hack that's, done to death. I mean, everybody gets naked and bleeds. The song titles, I do see that a lot here in Cleveland. Maybe not so much people being like, oh, this is gay or calling things gay, but more just, edgy, sort of on the, anal cunt, like Rankus Brothers kind of thing. Like, oh, are we this or are we not this? Or it's just satire, it gets a little, I'm not, it just gets a little tiresome, I guess is a good way to.
Yeah, I feel like some point if you're like constantly joking about this shit, that's just like putting other people down, and that's like all you're doing. It's like, are you really even joking about it if it's like such a prominent part of your personality? Like
I could agree with that. There does eventually become a point where it's like, all right, well, I mean, maybe once or twice it's a joke. If it's 4 albums straight, I don't know how much you're joking about it anymore.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to decipher because some people like legit just are, but it's
that would be the one.
At some point you gotta be like, is your whole life just gonna be a joke? Is everything you're doing just like like?
You need to take this stuff seriously.
Getting the bit in. Well, I guess that seems to be what most people's like main, I guess, complaint would be. That and then the album art. How do you feel about overly graphic, like real album art? Not, obviously people have drawings and shit of people dying, but like real. I'm gonna take a picture of like this guy with no head and then smack my logo on it. Or that seems to be something that
there's a element of disrespect there, right?
Yeah.
Versus like a collage of meat.
All right, going back real quick, I don't think everyone in the Midwest is like that. I have a lot of really good homies in the Midwest.
There's a lot
of fucking awesome bands out there too. But that what you were talking about does permeate just a bit, enough that it's like, something that people have been talking about. In terms of real death album art, that's like, I totally understand why people like have an issue with that. I have done it a bunch of times. I'll probably continue to do it. I feel like death is like one of the least discriminatory things out there. I feel like everyone, has to reckon with death in their life. That's something that like no one escapes. And like it's not like if it's not like directed at like one group of like already oppressed people, I don't like feel super bad about using images of dead guys.
Yeah.
Personally.
So if you get hit,
I've heard other people make the argument that it's like a disrespectful thing to do as well, for sure. So I've kind of been trying to be more careful about like where I source that kind of thing from.
Yeah.
As a result of that.
I feel like it comes off to me like it doesn't really bother me. It's not something that bothers me, but I think it could be received better if it's like if a guy like shoots himself because he's about to go to jail for like assaulting a bunch of kids or something, then you might be like, all right, well, fuck this guy. Maybe throw this out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, as opposed to like a lady who maybe like died trying to save a puppy or something. You might be a little like, oh, I don't know if I want this one on there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of what I was, thinking about, just being like more selective about what I would choose to use in terms of real death photography, for sure.
Well, if you get hit by a bus, would you want your friends to use explicit photos?
Hey, me personally, yes, for sure.
There you go.
I
and now
also
they have your permission.
Not everyone's gonna feel like that.
Yeah,
well, it's actually I think it's your decision above anybody else's. Yeah. Even if your mother isn't into it, they can refer back to this podcast. Be like,
no, for sure. All the homies, if I die violently, you have consent to
100%.
My dead body on your album art, for sure.
I feel like that's just what you have to do. Being so into grind, I feel like anybody who's into it to this level is just like, you know what, if I get my head cut off, I hope somebody takes a picture of it and puts it on a fucking album cover.
You can't have a double standard.
Fair is fair, man. Shit.
Fair is fair. It's better than funeral.
You guys can use me as long as I look handsome.
Yeah, as long as you look handsome.
If it's an unflattering angle.
Like what deserology is it's like the people that like after like someone's killed, if you're having an open casket funeral, they're the people that make you look nice and pretty in there.
That was my next question because I don't know what that word means. So it's like a mortuary attendant?
Yeah, they're like the mortuary makeup people, kind of. They'll just they'll get you right for the open casket.
So that's a French word. Why did you guys go with the French one?
I don't know. I think it's like the only term for it.
An embalmer?
I think embalming is like a different
part of
the process.
Okay, so that we use it in deserology.
Preparing
to make a corpse handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think embalming, isn't that just when they just drain the blood?
Put the chemicals in, they fill you up with pickle juice to preserve you forever.
Formaldehyde.
All right, on the subject of names, sulfuric cautery. What the fuck does that mean? I know cauterization is to burn a wound so that it stops bleeding.
Yeah.
Sulfuric, so you're burning something with
sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was more or less the title, just like cauterizing with acid. I feel like I figured out like one of those words, and Ryan, the original guitarist, figured out the other word, and we were like, all right, cool, done, band name. That's like the hardest part about starting a new band, is figuring out a band name. I suck at that shit, so it was a relief when we landed on something.
You got that one
cool, and that no one else had taken yet.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of surprising to me that there's, I guess you'll never run out of band names, but there is also so many words that you can pick from before it's like.
I was thinking the other day, there's only so many 4-letter words left for band names,
Yeah,
like
I get really impressed whenever I see like a new like one-word band name that has before. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Congrats.
I think people you start going. Well, I guess I was gonna say you could do body parts, but there's only really so many that I guess sound cool. I was thinking of spine when I said that, and that's why. But there's only so many, I guess.
Spinal tap.
There's a band over here.
No, it's the same problem with gamer tags. Like we're running out. You got to put like your fucking birthday beside it.
Your just real name. You said there was a band out there that did what, Isaac?
Oh, there's like a grind band out here that was called Rancid a couple of years ago.
Oh, that rocks.
Like, you guys didn't Google that one at all? Like,
that's so awesome. I want that to start happening. I want people to just start calling themselves other bands and just be really different.
I think it's a great name for a grind band.
No, it really is.
Better name for a grind band than like
the actual Rancid.
The Shrek soundtrack.
But still, like, man, you should have Googled that one.
You should have looked that up. Maybe double check. Maybe they did and they just didn't care. They were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna do it anyway."
We're gonna be way bigger than these guys.
Yeah, whatever
That would
happens,
be
happens.
cool. That'd be a very cool attitude to take for sure.
Yeah, that rocks. Damn, I'm hypey that I just heard that.
Or listen to them.
Hyphy, are we still saying
I feel
that?
like they're gonna be really hard to find on the internet. Like if I Google Rancid band, it's not.
You never. It's not gonna.
That's where I
It's
want
It's
to
the
go.
thing. I had to change my band from Head Honcho to Mandrill Wise because there was an album by like fucking A$AP Rocky or something called Head Honcho, and just that alone fucked up like the SEO, the Google search results.
well, actually, maybe the grind band Rancid. Maybe that was their plan. You know, they were playing like 4D chess. They're like, "Fuck it, people are gonna search Rancid. Our album will come up eventually, and then people will check us out." I'm sure there's probably not a huge crossover between the original Rancid fans. They probably don't want to hear that, but still.
Yeah. They're like, once they heard all the other Rancid albums, they'll listen to our album
Yes.
for sure.
They're gonna love it. They'll bookmark us. They'll start selling merch. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Hell yeah.
So, what is your where's your favorite place to play, Ben? You've done a bunch of traveling. Have you traveled essentially everywhere?
No, there's there's a bunch of parts of Europe I haven't been to.
Yeah.
Southeast Asia is still like unexplored territory until later this year. South America too, I'd love to get to one day, but haven't done yet.
Mhm.
For favorite places to play though, honestly, show like a good LA show is like pretty hard to top sometimes. Melbourne was fucking insane when we were over there. There was like so many good bands there at the time, and just like we like requested to play 2 Melbourne shows just so we could see all the local bands.
Oh, that rocks.
And it was awesome. And on top of their bands being great, the show was like awesome too.
Yeah.
And then Tokyo, Nagoya, and Osaka have also always treated us really, really well.
Yeah.
I value very much every time we get to go and play in those places for sure.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Nah, that sounds awesome. What bands were you into growing up?
It kind of like depends on what phase of growing up we're talking about. I got into like new metal at first. That was like
I feel like that's everyone. That's the entryway.
Sure. I like Alex said, it's either pop punk or new metal. I was new metal kid for sure.
How old are you, man?
31.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. What was your favorite new metal band?
Just for my reference.
I'm 30. I turned 30 in May.
All right.
I'm 35 years young this year of our Lord.
Well, shit, happy birthday, dude.
Oh, no, not today. I turned 30 in May, not today.
Oh, in May. All right.
Yeah, in May.
Might be.
That's okay. I'll take the happy birthday, though. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, in advance.
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite new metal band?
Oh, man. Embarrassingly enough, it was Linkin Park.
Oh, that's nothing wrong with that. People love Linkin Park. Yeah.
If I like listen to new metal today, though, I'm like, I feel like Korn is like way sicker.
Korn definitely is. They're probably actually the hardest new metal band. They're really good.
That shit is hard as fuck for sure.
Although Mushroomhead, dude, I love Mushroomhead. I fucking love. I am also in Cleveland, and I grew up listening to it, so I feel like there's a little bit of that going on. But I do love Mushroomhead.
Yeah, it's got to be a factor for sure.
It probably plays a huge role, but still. Although they've had a weird arc these last couple of years where they're like Southern guys now. They've definitely changed a lot. They've just become like a country, like Southern type rock band. I don't know where that came from because they're all from Cleveland their whole life. So an odd pivot, but there's like a good 8 albums that are solid as fuck, and then just kind of ignore the new stuff.
Yeah, they're getting old now, man. Shit.
Yeah,
they want to chill out.
So there's a random path for them to take this late in their career. I don't know where it came from, but it's hey, I won't judge.
Yeah, they're doing what they want at least. So
yeah, they're playing what they want. The grind. What was like your? No, I'm not listening to that shit at all. Never. I stop every single time. I don't want anything to do with that.
In terms of like grind and shit though, like first discovering it, like Insect Warfare was a real big one for sure.
Yeah,
I was kind of
got
like
the shirt on.
Yeah. I was like a black metal kid when I first started getting into like
Okay.
music, and then all like these metal dudes were like, "Hey, grind sucks, but like this one album, World Extermination, just came out. It's pretty good."
Yeah,
And so I checked that, and I was really into it, and then kind of like slowly went down the rabbit hole there.
yeah.
But for all time number one favorite band, grindcore or not, is Shooting Spree for sure. They're this band from Squamish, BC, which is just like 45 minutes north of Vancouver. That was like super insane. Like the musicianship, songwriting, and everything. It was just like off the wall, like crazy and technical without being like pretentious at all. It was just like still raw and brutal, but like really over the top crazy at the same time. And that was like a huge influence on me to try and just like get crazier and crazier with the shit that we were doing, without making it like some wanky pretentious stuff.
No, I feel it. It's kind of funny to me that there's so many pretentious people involved in grind, just because it's kind of a dumbass genre of music to be like on a high horse about all the time. But I do think, I mean, it actually just kind of comes with the territory. There's always going to be pretentious people in every genre of music, but still.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
It's
to avoid
it's gonna happen, yeah.
doing. But just from like a musical perspective, like when like some bands start like getting like too technical, it just sounds like masturbatory or like kind of just like not sick and brutal.
No.
These guys like managed to like go really crazy while still maintaining the sick and brutal, which is a cool line that I feel like not a lot of other people have been able to ride in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sick. They're Dahmer's up in Canada too, aren't they?
Yep. They're from Quebec, which is like
Yeah.
the other side of the country from where I grew up on. But that was they were some of the big dogs for sure.
That is my favorite grind band of all time. I fucking love Dahmer. I had to think. I couldn't remember if they were from Canada or not though. But yeah, they are fantastic. I've listened to Dahmer probably like 8 million times. And to the point earlier, I guess, to talk back about the album covers and stuff. When I was like, I want to say I was probably like 15 the first time I heard that album. I thought it was so cool because the uncensored album is like the dude's head and his hands and his penis, and I was like, that is so fucking hard. I was like, I gotta listen to this all the time and like show my friends.
Yeah.
It works.
They'd be like, dude, you're a fucking weirdo.
I know. They'd be like, you guys have to listen to this. I'm like, no, dude, get that away.
You're like, you think this is cool? And you're like, yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, fuck yeah, man. It's awesome. Oh man. Damn, dude, that's great. I think I had a lot of, well, not a lot, but I had wrestling questions asked because I was real hyped to talk about Dude Love, and you said you're not a huge wrestling guy, so now.
Man, my knowledge is pretty surface level. I can't even lie. There's like, it's like something that I've like grown to appreciate for sure, but I can only get so in depth with it.
Nah, I feel that 100%. Well, damn, dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. This isn't the most professional interviews, as you could see. A little all over the place at times.
What?
This is serious journalism.
Serious journalism, get all the facts, all the answers down. But
I'm
dude,
not the most professional musician either. So
no,
you're a motherfucking powerhouse.
No, dude, yeah, you kill it. I always feel bad when bands come on here because I feel like I should do a better job like interviewing, at least getting my questions and shit out. And I never have like anything. Like I'm always just like, so, dude, what's up with you?
Yeah, dude,
I just
talking about grind is actually like kind of hard. Like I did like a couple zines, like a number of years back now, and I'm just like, man, like what more is there to say about like a good release other than it's like thick and fast and brutal? Like,
yeah,
you can get a little more in depth than that, but it's like it's a tricky thing to talk about without getting like super redundant.
Yeah, I just like having. It's always fun to have like people on here just to see like, what's up, man. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do in your spare time?
Yeah, what are you into?
Shit, I like make like hip hop beats and stuff.
Oh,
like
okay.
That.
Hell yeah.
I like been reading books a lot lately.
What's your who's your favorite rapper?
Project Pat for
Project
sure.
Pat. Oh, Project Pat does rock. Project Pat is the man. Project Pat is the man.
When I was living in Dayton, I saw him in this like club on the west side, and it was like clearly just like some dope boy that like flew him out for his birthday party. It was like not a real concert at all.
That's so
And,
awesome,
like,
though.
just like performed on the floor, like
Oh.
there was like a stage on the second like floor of this venue, and he was just on the first floor where there was no stage, just like standing there and rapping. And he was like just taller than everyone else, so you could still see him and shit. And he only played old shit too. He didn't like play anything for the last 20 years. He was like, I know what people want to hear. I'm just gonna do that.
That's so awesome. That
And it
is
was
fucking
awesome.
sick.
It's like one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life, for sure.
Yeah. And then what's your favorite book? Or at least your favorite book that you've been reading, I guess. Narrow that down as to,
I think like I haven't read it in a while, but I like said for a long time my favorite book was The Road. I feel like I would need to revisit that to like make sure nowadays. This is like a number of years back, but that one like hit me real hard when I read it, for sure. It's just like super bleak and like almost all the way hopeless, but then like the little glimmers of hope that are in there kind of hit harder as a result.
Yeah. Damn, dude, fuck yeah. All right, well, I guess that's it for me. Alex, I don't know if you have anything else to...
No, I mean, we talked about your music, the technical aspects, and what it's like to play in as many bands as you do and get the travel opportunities which you do, which I'm jealous of. And we didn't learn that much about you as a guy. We know you've read The Road and you like Project Pat. What's your day job? Like, are you a full-time musician?
Yeah, I've just been doing like the label and bands like full-time for the past like year and a half or so.
That's impressive, man. I say it every time, but like it's hard to pay the rent with extreme music.
Yeah, dude, I like never thought it would be like an option, honestly. It wasn't like something I'd ever seriously considered. It kind of just like happened, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep doing this until I can't do that anymore. I was doing HVAC for a number of years before that.
Oh, that rocks.
Oh, you can retire to that anytime. You'll be fine. I'm not worried about you at all.
I want to go back to the tools. I haven't thrown them away. I can't bring myself to do that because it seems super irresponsible. Yeah. So I've still got them if I need to, but yeah, fingers crossed that it does.
Keeps going. Have you had any job offers from any labels or anything? Just to do, not even just to sign you, but even to be like a studio musician or like a tech or anything, like to be on tour or anything like that?
No, not really? Like no offers for any of my bands or like studio shit or anything like that.
Damn.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't know the right people or something. But
well, it sounds like you don't need it. You're making it, doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like a large part of the reason why I never considered doing music as a career is I felt like I'd have to make like way too many compromises that I was uncomfortable with, and it would make me like hate doing this thing I love so much.
Well, that's true. That probably would actually happen.
I did session work for this like one band like a number of years ago when I was like really like broke, and like my job was like, hey, we're taking 2 weeks off for Christmas, like so everyone can go see their families and stuff and just spend time at home. And I was like, what? And it was like 2 weeks before Christmas, and I was like, I've not budgeted to have 2 weeks off work at all. So I was like just trying to hustle however I could, and I did it. I recorded like an album on drums for this band, and I'm really glad that it never came out because
you weren't a fan.
I'm not.
All right.
Not a proud moment. It was like I did that because I just wanted the money.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I really don't want.
Just don't like it. Well, you're a fantastic drummer. You could definitely be a drum tech. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how people get those jobs. I know a couple of my friends are techs, and I think they just got it kind of just through being on the road. Like my friend Eddie, he's a guitar tech for Gore, and he doesn't really have like. He didn't apply for a job. He was like, yeah, he was playing with the band. He was in Shai Hulud. I think it was Shai Hulud. He was in Shai Hulud or someone like that. And then eventually he just like, I don't know, I guess he just met the right guy. And he was like, yeah, now he techs for Gore. And I think he's a guitar tech for Anthrax too. So I don't know. You probably definitely get it. You're a fantastic drummer. I'm sure, just bumping. I guess you're right. Probably just bump into the right guy. And
Hey, thanks.
He
Dude.
doesn't need it. He's doing his own thing. And then he's going to retire to HVAC.
It's just like knowing the right people. Like you just kind of like gotta like stumble your way into those opportunities.
You really do.
But like all like the touring I've done has been on like a very, very DIY level. Like I haven't ever done like a big package tour or anything like that, or something that's like gonna be like at real venues every night or shit. Like, still like play basements and stuff, but
that's still tour though. Still a good time.
We'll have a real venue show thrown in the mix once in a while, so it's not like it's not all basements, but it's not all venues either. And I feel like that's like a different world than like the music business or whatever. Like where I might run into one of the guys that would be like, "Hey, kid, you want a job?" Like,
something like that. It would be. I do think it's nice though. At least a lot of my friends who do it, they all have like a good time, you know. Because especially when you're just doing a tech, they're not even worrying about like writing or creating music. No, I mean, I'm sure they like. I know they do. They're in bands and stuff. But it's nice to just be like, okay, Gore is gonna come out and play. Let me just make sure the guitar's set for them, and then I can just go fucking eat wings at the bar and watch TV. You know, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I gotta do after I'm, you know, they're all set up and good.
Yeah. It's probably less stressful in that manner than being like, man, I hope people like this album I wrote. If not, I'm fucked. Like,
this is just like no pressure, and you still get to travel around and see the world and stuff. And it just seems like a pretty good gig. I actually wish that I would have learned to play an instrument so I could have tried to, you know, get in on that. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a bad gig at all.
Hey, it's never too late to just do vocals.
That's true. I have done vocals for bands before.
We're both vocals only.
Yeah, I'm straight up vocal only guy. But
I appreciate the dedication.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're vocals only. They're like only ever done vocals in band. They're fucking good at it, dude. It's like I feel like they take it more seriously than someone's like, yeah, I'll do vocals in this band, sure, and like usually play guitar or whatever.
Yeah, I won't lie. The bands that I've done vocals for, I can't say that I took it like really seriously. Like I don't think for all of them I've never even said like a real word. I kind of just yell. You know, it's just sounds sounds fun. Yeah, I just kind of yell. I have like two different kind of yells. I just like try sometimes to sound like just like a good high grind scream and then a good low grind scream, and then as long as I can get a cadence down, then I don't really need to say words. I just hope for the best after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it always works. Well, fuck, dude. I appreciate you so much for coming on, Isaac. Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude. Thanks a lot. This is your chance to plug if you got dates coming up, if you got releases that people that just came out, you want people to click on it. If you got things coming out soon that you want people to know about, this is your moment, my guy.
All right. Well, first off, nice to virtually meet both you guys. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully our paths will cross real life style one day. In the meantime, there's those two tours I talked about earlier. We're going to be in the Pacific Northwest, BC and Alberta, and then in Texas, Houston, Austin, and Dallas, so somewhere in the greater Dallas area in August with Sulfuric. Then in November, if you live in Australia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan, or Japan, pull up. We'll be playing some shows over there too.
Hell yeah.
Sulfuric just also released a new album that's not, it's just on vinyl right now. Maybe by the time that this comes out, it'll be available digitally too. So check that out. It's called Killing Spree.
Damn.
Oh, Killing Spree worship.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much, Isaac, for coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and bye.
Yeah. We'll be back next week. Isaac, do you have a personal Instagram?
No, it's just the label one, just Blast Addict.
I knew it. All right. Well, we'll see you when you're coming to Toronto. Get in touch with me. I'll come see you, but also I can help direct you to cool venues.
Hell yeah. Be back.
So this is our latest episode of The Gore Show with the Loose Meat Boys and Isaac Horne from 20 different bands, a pillar of the global Gore community here on the Gore Grinder channel, which is itself another pillar of that community. And we're so happy to be here. Thanks you to everyone who listened, especially if you got all the way to the end here. I think this was a pretty good one. and they're
Mhm.
only going to get better. I bought a
Hell
new
yeah.
microphone. We're rocking. We're rolling. We're having a good time. Thank you all so much.
Yes,
Later,
yeah.
boys.
See ya.